working on the massive main track at Belmont Park, a mile and a half from start to finish. We'll have some racing on the dirt. Big Sandy, as we like to call it. A couple turf courses in tip-top shape. Pristine turf, in fact, on a gorgeous Sunday. I tell you, it got a bit warmer than it was here yesterday, taping the New York Racing Series with you and Andy, and it was a nice Sunday, in fact, as Richard Migliore and Jason Blewitt join you on Belmont Insider, in which the sun made an appearance, and enjoying your last day with us at Belmont.
Yeah, this will be it. When I get back, I'll be heading over to Aqueduct, so always, look, I like Aqueduct. I'm just not crazy about the traffic getting to Aqueduct, but it's a great place to race. It's a great racing surface. And today started out kind of wet and looked like it was going to be dreary, and it turned into an absolutely picture-perfect day.
We were fast and firm. 94,000, the double pick-six carryover into the Sunday sequence. Just a 9-race card and a high-quality card, especially towards the back end of the program. And we'll have quite a few highlights for you in just a few seconds. But we do begin, Mig, with the Breeders' Cup, at least the worthy Breeders' Cup news, and perhaps none bigger than Linda Rice and the connections of La Verdad deciding to supplement for 100,000, and they are sending her to the Filly and Mare Sprint.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to hear this. I mean, it's a quick turnaround, actually less than a week, and you have to ship. But I think from what I read, Linda was basically encouraged because of the way she rated off the pace, and it kind of gives her another dimension. So if there is a very hot pace, she can sit off of it the way she did yesterday, as long as she's drawn to the outside. I don't know about getting kicked back in her face, but boy, just 6 days between races and a ship to Kentucky. Pretty tall order, but a pretty special mare.
And this will be the swan song. She is entered in that Facing-Tipton breeding sale a few days after the Breeders' Cup. And if she wins or hits the board, they're going to increase what she will go for. Sure. I don't know the reserve, so we wish La Verdad a safe trip. She will fly early tomorrow afternoon for Linda Rice to Kentucky. And Shug McGahee had honor code in the pitch blackness here at around 5:30 this morning. Nobody really saw him except Shug, I guess, coming down the stretch, and apparently his half-mile breeze went in good order.
I tell you, Shug sounds so confident. Shug's not a guy that gets, false confidence. The horse is training brilliantly, and I think Shug got just what he wanted out of running in the Kelso, a race to go forward off of. Now, you want to win all your races, of course. They're important races. But at the end of the day, it was a prep race, and he thought this was the best path to get to the Breeders' Cup Classic. Shug McGahee is in the Hall of Fame for a reason. I think Honor Code is going to run his A race in the Breeders' Cup.
He's going to need his A race, stretching out to a mile and a quarter against AP, Beholder, and the crew that also includes Tonalist. And the plans call for him to leave early Monday on a Tex Sutton flight, and he'll walk Tuesday and then just gallop Wednesday through Friday into Saturday's $5 million Classic. To Keeneland we go with Beholder, your Pacific Classic winner. She already owns 2 separate Breeders' Cup victories, and she'll look to join Zenyatta as the only other female winner of the Classic come Saturday.
And she'll become the only horse, if she's able to pull it off, to win 3 different Breeders' Cup races. And you can see how good she looks schooling here in the paddock. She draws a crowd wherever she goes, as most beautiful females should. And Beholder certainly is a lady to behold. I think this is a really encouraging sign to see how calm she is in the paddock. She kind of lost her mind a little bit in the post-parade of the Kentucky Oaks when she shipped to Kentucky for that, and still ran second to Princess of Silmar. She looks very poised, very relaxed, and speaks a great deal to her maturity and the job that Richard Mandela has done to get her to this point.
He's a master, legendary horseman out in Southern California. Already owns a slew of Breeders' Cup wins. This might just be the cherry on top of the sundae if he gets it done in the Classic with Beholder.
He's a lot like the trainers that you think about, Alan Jerkins, Charlie Whittingham, Woody Stevens, knowing how to point a horse for a particular race. That's why he's had such big Breeders' Cup success, particularly that day when he won multiple Breeders' Cup races. You kind of see he's got a plan, and he looks a little bit like the cat that swallowed the canary in the photos I've seen of him sitting on a bale of hay in front of Beholder stall.
Well, I'll tell you, he really is cut from the same cloth as some of those great old-time trainers, some of which are no longer with us, but easy to root for Beholder against American Pharaoh. Easy to root for him as well. A lot of plot lines on display come 5:35 when they break from the gate in the $5 million Classic. Speaking of the Breeders' Cup, we had the namesake of a former Breeders' Cup turf champion in English Channel who won over the Bog, if my memory is correct, back in '07 at Monmouth Park, the BC Turf. 3-year-olds ready to roll in the Widener as we set it up to Larry Comas.
And it's Gallery who comes out running fast, and so too High Noon Rider. And on the inside, Nona's Boy. These three out for the lead together. Vision Perfect is away running in fourth. A Lot is fifth, and March is taken back off the pace to sit sixth early ahead of Offering Plan. The trailer is Team Colors as the field heads up the backstretch. And up front, it is High Noon Rider. Nona's Boy a half length behind, riding the rail. And then it's Vision Perfect in third, just ahead of Gallery and March together. Fourth and fifth up the backstretch, and A Lot is between those two and moving up. Break of another 3 lengths more to Offering Plan and Team Colors. At the back of the pack, 23-1 was the opening quarter mile for High Noon Rider, who's prompted by Nona's Boy to the inside. And these two take them into the far turn with Vision Perfect running along in third. Gallery, March, and A Lot all right there. Offering Plan is next, and then it's Team Colors. 46-1, a solid half mile around the far turn. It is Nona's Boy, High Noon Rider, Vision Perfect joins them. Farthest out, Gallery, 4 wide, in running in fourth. And then March and A Lot just in behind the leaders, Offering Plan and Team Colors, and they're coming toward the top of the stretch. And it is High Noon Rider who turns for home with the lead. Vision Perfect on the outside, runs after him. In behind them, Offering Plan is putting in a bid on the far outside, and also gaining ground is A Lot. And from dead last, Team Colors has made progress, but it's Offering Plan and Team Colors to decide it. Offering Plan drifting out but clear, and Offering Plan wins the English Channel over Team Colors. Then A Lot and March.
Big late run off that quarter pole for the New York bred Offering Plan, who really impressed here, third time out as a 3-year-old.
Man, he really turned on the afterburners. What a turn of foot. He got a race, that set up well for his style. And, I mean, he got to think off of this race. He's bound for bigger and better things.
You would
was
think.
A pretty impressive performance.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe a turf horse to be reckoned with next year at 4. I'm not sure of the spots that still remain regarding age-restricted company for 3-year-old turf runners. I know they used to run the Hollywood Derby out there around Thanksgiving weekend at Hollywood Park. We'll see if there's a race at Santa Anita, but we do have winning owner Michael Dubb in the winner's circle with the Mig.
Michael, Offering Plan was very good today. What a late kick.
Yeah, we've liked this horse from the get-go. He really showed us something as a 2-year-old, and he got the right race set up today, and he fired for us.
I was watching you lead him into the winner's circle, and obviously how happy you are, and it never gets old. Is there a way to describe the feeling that you get watching one of your horses win?
If you can't own an NFL team, or maybe the Mets, this is the next best thing.
Well, I know that you always have a plan. I saw yesterday Royal Posse ran second in the Classic. It was a horse that you claimed. What is it that you look for horses going forward? It seems like you always want to have a thought process one step ahead.
Well, what I try to do is a certain amount of diversity. I do like to claim horses, but I also like to buy 2-year-olds in training. I also like to buy a certain amount of yearlings, and I like to spread them around and give them to the trainers who have, specific talent in those areas. Obviously, Chad is unparalleled. He's at the top of the game right now in turf racing and really in all racing. I mean, he's such a phenomenal trainer, and he's so young. It's just amazing to watch him.
You're on a really good run. Are you going to be participating in the Breeders' Cup, and if so, with who?
Yeah, we have 2 horses in the Breeders' Cup with Chad. We have Wavell Avenue, who we purchased at the summer sale of horses in training at Lexington a year ago last summer, and she's developed nicely under Chad, a great dirt sprinter, and just getting better and better. I think she ran a 101 buyer, going 6 furlongs last time, and we think she's at the top of her game and has a really big shot in this race.
Great. Well, best of luck going forward there, and congratulations today.
We also have Slumber.
Oh, Slumber is going to go.
Yes, Slumber's going, and we think Slumber's got as good a chance as anybody. So
great.
We're excited about it.
Well, best of luck.
Okay, thank you.
All right, safe flight for the Dub horses and all of Chad Brown's Breeders' Cup bound contenders, and a trainer not too long ago, in fact, about a year ago, won 3 Breeders' Cup races out at Santa Anita. And I guess the connections, or at least Michael Dubb, pretty high on Slumber, who's going to need some luck to go his way due to the presence of the ARC winner in the BC Turf.
You know, and it was interesting. We talked off camera when we wrapped up the interview about it, and he said that actually Slumber has run better rag numbers than Big Blue Kitten. getting wide trips and what have you. And I think they're going to have a little bit of a different change of strategy into the race. And he made a good point. He said, when Flintshire decided, they're not coming. But the ARC winner, Golden Horn, is that you shouldn't shy away from one horse. That if there were 3 or 4 that they absolutely thought, well, we can't beat this horse, then maybe you look for another plan. But Alan Jerkins used to say it, and Michael Dubbs definitely prescribing to it. You never shy away from one horse.
I like that. As we go forward, Big Business, we're big fans of Big Business, an 11-time winner coming back off an 8-month layoff. He'll be off the bench in race number 3, and we'll have it on the other side of the break.
And here it is. The 37-year wait is over. American Pharoah is finally the one. American Pharoah has won the Triple Crown.
American Pharoah and the crew in Breeders' Cup 32 this coming weekend at Keeneland as we focus in on trainer Tom Albertrani, perhaps heading up to the boxes to watch Awesome Dame run as the even money favorite in race number 6. We will have that race in just a few seconds in its entirety, but Saturday, a special day, no day like Breeders' Cup Saturday, 11:45 a.m., the first race post. Plenty of activities at Belmont Park for the family, including a thermos giveaway, and you still, no matter how many years you've been in the game, you wake up Breeders' Cup, especially Saturday, and it is like waking up on Christmas morning, right?
Well, there's just so many good races. It's not like the Derby where you're waiting all day for the Kentucky Derby. There is just one main event after the other, and the build-up to the Classic is always special. Will you get me a thermos?
I will grab you a thermos. It'll be on your desk waiting for you when you get back to the Big A next week. All right, let's move on to the action here. You got it, Mig. Race number 3. We'll call it the co-feature today. This is a pretty razor-sharp, tough group of older horses. Big purse at 90 G's as we send it back upstairs to Larry.
He's on the outside. These 3 are out for the lead together. Big Business is 3.5 lengths off of them, and then Takaho and Eric the Red on the inside as they run up the backstretch with Rainbow Air in front. And Fabulous Kid 3/4 of a length off of Rainbow Air. Pulling G's is third to the outside of them as they go past the opening quarter mile in 22 3/5 seconds. And now Big Business is backed off about 7 lengths off the lead round the far turn. Eric the Red and Rainbow Air now right alongside of Big Business. Or Rainbow Air in front, rather, as the field rounds the far turn. Fabulous Kid on the outside is running in second position. Pulling G's is third. Break of another 5.5 lengths. And that's Takaho on the outside of Big Business. And Eric the Red, who's down toward the inside. After a 45 2/2 mile, they're coming to the top of the stretch. Rainbow Air on the inside. Neck in front of Fabulous Kid. Pulling G's is right alongside. The 3 of them come into the final furlong. And now Pulling G's takes off. Pulling G's takes the lead from Rainbow Air and Fabulous Kid. And then Takaho, Big Business, and Eric the Red on the inside. It's Pulling G's in front. Pulling G's is going to go on and win here. And look like Rainbow Air may have been second. Fabulous Kid right on the wire with him, though. And then Takaho.
5-wide trip out in the clear for Pulling G's through the stretch. Good-looking 5-year-old gelding by Curlin, who may have fired Mig his best shot ever today.
He really did. I mean, he was sitting out there, perched out there wide, but looked like a winner every step. He warmed up aggressively in the post-race. I watched him leave the lead pony with Manny Franco, and you could see he was going to leave for position, and he really was the picture on the track. Generous price, I thought, at $14.80. I guess his form was somewhat muddied up. He was eased, then the turf race, but some of his good races were pretty much as good as anybody in here.
And annually, over the last few falls, this has been a meet John Sheriff has excelled in. He had a pretty good spring here at Belmont Park, but a nice win getting off the duck with Pulling G's in race number 3. As we fast forward to race number 6, 2-year-old fillies in the opening leg of Sunday's late pick 4, as we have the Tom Albertrani trained Awesome Dame, a short price at even money against a good field.
Shayna Lady on the far outside, Truly Bound toward the inside, and Awesome Dame between those two. And then it's She's Worth It, followed by JR Star. 3 lengths to Quality Lady and Nabila, and a slow start for Heavenly Lucky, who's last in the early stages here as the field races for the turn, Truly Bound in front. The leader by a length and a half over Awesome Dame and Shayna Lady. They've got 3 lengths on She's Worth It, then JR Star to the inside. After that, it's Quality Lady and Nabila, and last of them all is Heavenly Lucky. Truly Bound leads the field around the far turn, 3/4 of a length in front of Awesome Dame and Shayna Lady, who's going up there 3 wide. And it's 3 lengths more back to JR Star, who's down on the inside. Nabila's trying to get going, too. The half mile goes in 46 flat, and they're into the stretch, and Shayna Lady has wrested command. On the outside of Awesome Dame, who fights on second. Shayna Lady in front, though. Awesome Dame second. JR Star trying to cut into the gap third on the outside. It is now Shayna Lady drifting to the rail. Awesome Dame steady, switches to the outside. JR Star is third. Shayna Lady under the wire in front. And then it was Awesome Dame, JR Star, and Nabila.
Not guilty the call from the stewards and the jockey's objection, lodged by Joel Rosario on the 7 Awesome Dame, who steadied off the number 8 Shayna Lady and Javier.
Yeah, and it did not change or affect the outcome of the race. I mean, the 8 horse was the best horse. She was going by Awesome Dame. But the fact of the matter is, Awesome Dame did steady. Where things could have got dicey, what if Awesome Dame gets beat a nose for second? Mm-hmm. Now you've got a problem, because then you're looking at potentially the best horse being disqualified. When you're on the best horse and you're passing the horse inside of you, give them plenty of room. You don't need to shave them at that point. The race is decided. Why put any doubt or put it into the steward's hands?
And Chad Brown left alone there, and I think rightfully so, the way you just explained, with the outside post winner in race number 6. Fairly expensive 2-year-old by American Lion. He stands for just $5K. They bought this one at OBS April for 235 G's, and she looks like a runner.
She does. I think it was actually a pretty strong race.
I do, too. Potentially a live race going forward. No doubt about that. Race number 9, though, is where we go forward. In fact, let's finish off this second-to-last Sunday. High above. We'll give you a bit of a wave here on our third-floor set. Upstairs to Larry Comas for the call of Sunday's last.
First Charmer had a very good start. There goes Aquarius up and after the early lead. And then comes His Girl Friday on the inside. And they're followed by Adirondack Luck, who's out running in 4th position. Then it is Sweet Advance, 5th on the outside. Broken Border and Donna Tian are next. And they're being followed by Madison Blues. Then it's back to His Girl Friday to the inside. Break of another 2.5. And then comes Rangers Express. Belief is next, and John's Catnip trails the field. 23-3 was the first quarter mile, and Aquarius leads the way by a length and a half up the back stretch. First Charmer is running along in second. Pleasure Cruise is third to the inside. Then it's Adirondack Luck in 4th by another 2, followed by His Girl Friday, Broken Border to the inside. As they make their way toward the far turn, outside of them comes Sweet Advance. Then it's Donna Tien. Madison Blues on the far outside, Rangers Express, Belief, and John's Catnip, a 48 1/2 mile. Around the far turn, Aquarius the leader a half a length. And alongside is First Charmer. These two take them round the turn 1-2. Adirondack Luck, third and progressing toward the pacemakers. And then it's Sweet Advance, followed by Pleasure Cruise. And Madison Blues on the outside. Broken Border is next. And Donna Tien, and they're coming to the top of the stretch. And it is Aquarius on the inside. And First Charmer, these two, joined by Donna Tien, who's coming quickly now. Here's Donna Tien running after the pacemakers. Donna Tien on the outside of First Charmer. These two come down to the line. Donna Tien in front. First Charmer, Rangers Express, Broken Border. Donna Tien has won it. Then a photo between First Charmer and Rangers Express and Broken Border fourth.
Little grand motion in the nightcap with Manny Franco, Mig, who won his 3rd on the day. Did it in style. Very nice ride from off the pace of Donna Tien.
I thought Manny Franco had a terrific day. He was riding extremely well all day. And how do you pronounce it? Donna
Tien.
Donna Tien.
Yep.
Not like Donna Noyne? No.
Not Donna 9, even though you have 9 pieces of vinyl at home waiting for you.
It's a long week. We're getting a little punchy, but that was a very good effort. And, you know, that's one thing I love about turf racing. At the 8th pole, it looked like one of any 8 or 9 could have won.
Yep.
And I think we got a trips or traps horse or two coming out of that.
All right, I like that. We'll sit tight for your Trips and Traps episode with Andy, and those, of course, are streaming currently on NYRA.com and our YouTube channel. And the winner, by the way, trained by Graham Motion, a half to Tufflesburg. Let's move on to the other action as we get on to 1, 2, 4, 5, and 8 with Larry C.
In charge as they come down to the 8th pole. Irish Whisper's now 3 lengths behind. Scataway is trying to close in down the center of the track, and then Champagne Ruby on the inside. Scataway's coming, trying to come and get Court Dancer. Court Dancer, Scataway, Champagne Ruby. Here comes Scataway. Close. Court Dancer and Scataway right on the wire together. Then Champagne Ruby and Irish Whisper. Back in second. Stardom is down on the inside. And then it's Prophet's Cat, and down goes Frazier, and they're into the stretch. And it is El Viejo Verde in front through a 45 flat half mile. Joined now on the outside by Excellent Royale. And down goes Frazier is closing on the far outside, and then Bowtie Affair and Stardom. Excellent Royale. Down goes Frazier. Bowtie Affair between those two. Bowtie Affair, down goes Frazier, down to the line. It is going to be very close. I think down goes Frazier. Bowtie Affair was right with him on the wire. Stroll takes second, Swanky back to third, and Smokin' Stroll draws up alongside of 100 Year Storm and takes the lead. Smokin' Stroll to the front. 100 Year Storm is second. French Dressing has moved up into third. Then Me and Molly and Swanky has dropped back. It is Smokin' Stroll. Eric Consell and Smokin' Stroll to win it. French Dressing got second. And then came 100 Year Storm and I'm a Lucky Girl. Liberty Fuse the leader. Off the turn with a 2.5 length lead on Keep Bustin'. My Donna Jean continues to progress on the outside. And toward the rail it's Colonel Juanita. It is still Liberty Fuse. Liberty Fuse comes by the 8th pole in front a length and a half. And then Colonel Juanita to the inside. Keep Bustin' and My Donna Jean on the far outside, sputtering late. Coming down to the line, Liberty Fuse has done it. From Colonel Juanita. Then Keep Bustin' and My Donna Jean. It's Archer Queen fourth and down on the inside, followed by 10 Penny Princess and Daisy Cutter. 3/4 and 1, 14 and 1. They're into the stretch. Style Drift down the center of the course makes her run for the lead now. Style Drift outside of Smiling Sunday. Resolutely is there, and coming through on the inside is Archer Queen, but it's Style Drift. Style Drift has the lead. Late run from 10 Penny Princess, and on the outside Weekend Score. Style Drift won it. Weekend Score got second, and then came 10 Penny Princess and Daisy Cutter.
All right, 3-win Sunday at Belmont Park for Chad Brown. 32 wins at the meet. You and I were talking at the start of the show, and we'll have the trainer standings in the final segment. Chad has more wins than all but 3 riders this meet at Belmont.
It's remarkable. I mean, there was a time when the leading rider would have 3, 4, maybe even 5 times as many wins as the leading trainer. Boy, the game sure has changed.
All right, let's head back to the first race. Photo finish camera, maybe Cappy can do it with his binocs, but the photo finish camera could not separate both the 4 Scataway and the 6 Court Dancer, who really began with this dead heat the big Sunday for Manny Franco.
Yeah, and you know, you're going to see it. It was, to me, a surprise it was a dead heat, because usually they kind of lock up, and these two had heads going up and down, and they just caught it exactly on the wire to dead heat. So Manny Franco won 3 today. He had to share one of them, but I don't think he minded.
I don't think he minded at all. Had a nice win in the Empire Classic as well. Race we covered on the Racing Report Monday and Tuesday on MSG+. The winner, Court Dancer, part of that dead heat, claimed out of the first, and a couple of claims out of race number 5, including the beaten favorite, who had a 4-way shake, as we check out one of Chad Brown's good-looking 2-year-olds when we come back. Belmont's General, John Velasquez, assistant trainer to Todd Pletcher, Byron Hughes alongside, and we wish Johnny B the best of luck in Breeders' Cup 32. As we look back at the week that was, it began Wednesday. Chad Brown won 7 races this week at Belmont, and Amaze Me Grace looked pretty solid here in the nightcap, October 23rd.
Real solid, real professional, too, rallying up the inside to get the money. It's just uncanny, the job that Chad Brown does with these 2-year-olds, particularly on the turf. I mean, all kinds of horses. I don't want to get into pigeonholing him as a turf trainer, but it seems like every time we look up, he's got one of these maidens just impressing us so much on the grass.
And as far as impressing, La Verdad, a new dimension in the Iroquois Saturday, rating out in the clear from 4th.
No surprise that she won, just surprised that she came from off the pace to do it, and actually might have finished the deal better than she has any of her other races, as there was still gas left in the tank.
And Wonder Gal really dug in determinedly. A very nice ride from Jose Lascano when she pulled the win as the second choice in the Empire Distaff.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful ride. Got his position, made sure that Hot Stones couldn't get off the rail, and she's a quality filly. I'm just glad to see her break through and get her second win. Terrific job by Leah Giamatti to have her ready to fire this well off the bench.
Brought her in off the test. That perhaps flatters cavorting in the filly and mare sprint against La Verdad, as we have the hot rider Jose Lascano, who just did everything right in the last 2 races here, Showcase Day, for a very nice stakes double.
Yeah, he swept our racing series wins, and wins on a big long shot here. Being aggressive, going forward, getting his position, and taking them gate to wire.
Hat trick today for Manny Franco. Javier Castellano picked up a couple of victories as well, as we shift over to Linda Rice, who, once again, Chad Brown gets honorable mention, but we've given him hot trainer, I think, 4 of the 5 weeks we've been at Belmont this fall. Linda Rice, not bad. 5 wins, and she's set to go to the Breeders' Cup.
Set to go to the Breeders' Cup with La Verdad. Palace got it done on Showcase Day as well, and off the strength of those victories, gets hot trainer of the week.
And Linda Rice, with that dead heat victory with Scataway in the opener, now sits second in sole position, 1 in front of Todd Fletcher. Chad Brown, however, 32 wins, as we send it to a pair of winners, Andy and Maggie, with Wednesday's plays.
Thanks a lot, guys. Well, interesting card on Wednesday, and there is some possible rain in the area, so we'll stick to a dirt race. And there's some good dirt races on this card. The 7th race, the 8th race, looking very difficult and interesting races. The 5th race, a tough one as well. There are $12,000 claimers entered in race number 5. And I'll tell you something, there's a lot more question marks, I think, than answers in this race. And I'm going to take a horse that should be a fair price. Now, I don't usually like horses shipping from out of town, but the 6 Chiseled caught my eye. It's a horse that's run well in wet tracks before, and even though recent race on the turf, this is really a dirt horse. And if you look back to a sloppy track race at Monmouth, where this horse finished 3rd back in the summer, actually late June, Chiseled ran against horses that are much better than these horses. You know what? I think he's got some decent races. I think he'll be a fair price with Jackie Davis. And I want to take a slight shot in the 5th race with number 6 Chiseled on Wednesday's card.
Here in the Belmont paddock, looking ahead to the Wednesday card. Hopefully we're on the turf. I know there's a bit of rain kind of in the forecast. I think it's going to happen later on in the week. But taking a look at a maiden special weight on the turf, going the 7/8, a horse by the name of Chiltern Street, here for trainer Wesley Ward. When he debuted at Saratoga, I'd heard some rumblings that this guy could run a bit, but I thought that the 5.5, a son of Giants Causeway, would be just a bit too short for him. He then stretched out at Kentucky Downs going a mile. Well, that was just a bit too long for him. Right in the middle at the 7/8 is where I think Chiltern Street will be the most competitive. Furthermore, let's hope he shows up. But Frankie Dettori is named on him to ride, as he is here for the Breeders' Cup, riding several Wesley's horses in those races. So let's see if he'll ship up north to ride Chiltern Street. If not, I still like him no matter what. And he's your paddock insider for tonight. Guys, back to you.
A flying dismount on Wednesday with Frankie sounds pretty good for Wesley Ward. Congrats to Chad Brown, Javier Castellano, and Michael Dove, and we'll see you this Wednesday at 12:55.